Hey, Marcus Bronzy here from How to Kill an Hour, and today we are looking at a brand new microphone. This says on the box, or looks like the box for an MV7 with a sticker on it to make it marked as the MV7X. Now, the reason that is because we actually got this microphone before the launch of the MV7X, which we're about to unbox today. But because we had other commercial commitments, we were unable to give it our fair review and unboxing at the time. But nevertheless, I'm excited to open this MV7X, which is the perfect microphone for imperfect rooms. Well, that's what Shure says it is anyway. Let's get in the box. Now, I can't talk through what it says it does on the outside of the box because it's not the same microphone that we're getting for the reasons that I stated, but it doesn't mean I'm any less excited to get my hands on this. Now, we have reviewed the MV7 in the past on How to Kill an Hour, and this is very similar in form factor to the MV7. However, there is one difference, which is a small difference to me because I got the right adapters, but maybe a bit of a bigger difference to you. It's even got a little sticker on it. 98. Does that mean it's one of 98? It's one of the first 98 ones? And that is that this MV7 is not USB. If you have a look at the back here, you can see it's designed for XLRs only. There's no USB out, there's no headphone out, which is why this microphone is slightly cheaper. They've tried to keep all of the quality of the MV7 microphone with less bits in it, which means this is, if I'm honest, more closely priced to something like a pod mic. And that's what I'm going to put it up against today in our sound test. Before I do that, I'll just talk around what's going on here with the microphone. It comes with its own cradle here. And what that does is it means that you can connect this straight on to a stand of sorts. Like we've got a stand here. Got an SM7B here, about 4 times the price, so 3 or 2.5 times the price or whatever. So you can just hook it straight on and you're good to go. Also comes with its own little wind shield there, or muff as I like to call it, which means that there's the microphone there. Should reduce some plosives as well. It feels like a quite substantial mic. It feels, I've not got the exact weight here with me, but it feels like it's made of good stuff. It's a nice solid exterior, and this is solid as well. But I guess what you really want to know is how do they sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up 2 mics. I'll put the pod mic here and we'll put the Shure here. We'll get them fired up and we'll talk about what they take in terms of power, whether they're powered phantom or not, and then we'll crack right on with regards to giving them a sound test, and you can let us know what you think in the comments, whilst I'll drop you my little opinion on how they sound as well. So let's try them out. So first things first, we'll just do some regular conversation into the pod mic. Here's me talking into the pod mic with my regular voice. And yeah, this is the baseline. Let's go over to the MV7X. Excuse me. Hello. Oh, straight away you can hear it sounds a little bit richer. There's a bit more of texture in my voice coming through. Some people like that. Some people prefer like a tinny output like the pod mic has, so it has less lows in it, less to filter out in the production. But I can tell that the difference here is there's a richer sound coming out of this microphone. Let's go back again just to give you a bit of information, a bit more clarity on that, so you can hear it sounds a bit, I'd say there's more high end and less low end. And over here, you've got a richer sound. So that's me talking to the regular voice. Next thing, I think it's time for us to check out what it's like when you overpower them a bit. With some plosives. Here's me talking loudly into the pod mic saying pepperoni, pepperoni. Here's me talking loudly into the MV7X pepperoni, 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 pepperoni. Pepperoni, pepperoni, pepperoni. Pepperoni, pepperoni, pepperoni. Plosives. Plosives. I think the pod mic might be tipping it slightly here, but that might be because we're getting less of the bottom end punching through on those big plus that I do. So there it's kind of hard to, let me go again. Properly go into the shots properly. Yeah, I think maybe the pod might tip it here, but it all depends on whether you want that lower end or not. At the moment, I don't feel like there's a massive difference, but Next, let's just do some quiet talking, and then we'll see what they're like when there's no sound, to see if there's any feedback coming into them, or if there's any buzz when there's no noise going in, which can be fine if you've got a mic or two. But if you've got 3 or 4 mics hooked up and there's a little buzz for each of them, it's not a good thing. Feels like I'm getting a slightly cleaner signal from the MV7X. I do want to say, of course, we are using exactly the same length leads, exact same brand of XLRs, and they're just going into different ports on the desk. I mean, that's as far as it goes, because I know there's people like, oh, my mic sounds perfectly fine, but this is our setup. There may be some noise that's affecting this, but to be fair, for both of them, I call that even grounds. Next, we're going to do some little whispering. Hi, this is Marcus Bronzy, just talking quietly to see how it sounds. Hi, this is Marcus Bronzy, just talking quietly to see how it sounds. To be fair, again, pretty similar. Again, richer sound on this side, less frequencies on this side. It sounds to me personally. Now that we've done that, I think it's time for us to throw some processing on these mics, because this could be where we see a real big difference. I feel like there's more richness here for us to mess with once we put on all the settings. And then with this mic here, who knows how it'll go down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into settings. I'm literally going to turn on all of the processing effects, because, you know, we all like to mess with our audio. This is a lot different. Now we've thrown all the processing onto the pod mic. You can hear how it's, you know, noise gate is bringing all of that feedback out, is pulling all that feedback out when I'm not talking. And it's making me sound richer, deeper. We've got big bottom on there, a little bit of oral exciter on there. Sounding very good. Let's see how it sounds in comparison to the MV7X. Hello. Yeah. Oh, damn. Yes. Okay. Now, this is where you can see how the richness of the original sound, once you process it, gives you, I feel like you can just feel like we've pulled more out of this. In the same way, like with the SM7B, you can pull a lot of sound out of it and make it sound really rich. But when you plug it in and just have it with no effects, it really doesn't sound as juicy. Let's switch back over to the pod mic, which does sound good. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really good. It sounds, I mean, you can't deny it sounds brighter. Very high, very strong on the high ends, but yeah, the MV7X is just sounding rich, and I do like having that rich sound. I mean, for me, I feel like you can take bottom end out, but woo, that's sounding good. I mean, let me overpower them again. Let me start over here. Pepperoni, 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 pepperoni. Now at this stage now, while everything's kind of processed, I feel like the MV7X is really doing its job in terms of standing out from the crowd here. I'm really liking it. One final test, actually, I do want to do is just to see what they're like when you're on and off mic as well. This is with the processing on. So let's start off with the MV7X over here as well. Okay. Hi, this is Marcus Bronzy, just talking on and off mic so you can hear how things sound. Hi, this is Marcus Bronzy. I'm just going a little bit above the mic so you can hear how it sounds, because you want to kind of make sure that you're not getting any of that background noise of other people when you're trying to talk into the mic. Hi, this is Marcus Bronzy on the pod mic here. Just this is me moving off mic, and this is me back here again. This is me moving up above the mic as well and coming back down again and seeing how we sound. Yeah, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, right. So this is where it comes down to people's opinions, I guess, on how things sound. I've got both mics on at the moment. This is where it comes down to people's opinions on which they think sounds better. I think whilst we have a great sound over here from the pod mic, I feel like you can hear the extra richness from the voice coming through on the MV7X. So I'd say if you wanted to be cheap and cheerful and get a microphone, I understand why people go for this. If you want something where you're getting a bit of extra bang for your buck, you're not getting £500, £600 microphone sound out of this, but you're getting a decent a decent sound out of it in terms of you've got richness, you've got a bit to play with the EQs. It seems to be a bit tighter in terms of its cone of sound that it picks